What makes you think you're actually attractive? Story 1. If strangers tell you you're attractive or good looking, if you're constantly getting compliments on your appearance from strangers, then it's not just you. You're probably attractive. If you want brutal honesty, a kid will tell you if you're good looking, because they will also say if you're ugly. Story 2. I get lots of compliments, stares on daily basis. However, I don't see myself as an attractive person, at least not to the point of having a lot of people going out of their way just to stare at me. It's not like I'm lacking confidence. I don't care if I'm not that attractive. It's just a weird thing that people around you are seeing another thing than the thing you're seeing in the mirror. Story 3. Men are completely out of my radar, but every time one flirts with me or enters my vicinity with a sense of confidence, I have a realization of, oh yeah, they exist. That to men I'm attractive despite my overwhelming desire for women. So when one isn't being creepy or weird, I take the compliment and genuine nice words. I relate to their nervousness and anxiety, so I let them down kindly, but it does give me a small boost. Story 4. Life experiences have given me what I feel is a pretty realistic view of my own attractiveness, the type of women that would consider me for a partner. I'm not going to land the hottest woman in the room, but every woman I've been with has been pretty enough, more than a few prettier than I thought I could land. Also, compliments, and the type of compliments. I have a good feel for what physical features women find attractive in me. Story 5. My bubbly attitude. I love talking to people of all types. While to me my looks are just okay in the face, I also have a nice build for my body. So many times with significant others, if I can catch you with a few good conversations, get to know you, then we make it to the next level. It's a wrap. But that's only if I can get a conversation. Story 6. Maybe I'm not, but family and my girlfriend have been telling me that. Others haven't openly stated it, but from their words it feels like they think I'm average or above average when we get to the topic. Other than that, I really like to look in the mirror and just try to find cool angles of myself, and I found that I'm nothing special, but I'm not below average. Story 7. Usually my clothing, but especially when I dress more feminine. I'm a trans guy who likes to dress femme, so I think when I do makeup and wear more flattering femme clothes, hair up half down, lip gloss, mascara, some sparkles, crop top, and baggy jeans, I think I look pretty cute, and my BF likes it, so I think I look semi-attractive. Though I am aware what makes people attractive, and I don't have many of those qualities. I have a chubby face, double chin, and very messy hair. Story 8. A lot of different types of people, men and women, have made various positive comments about my appearance through the years. I'm a woman FWIW, and I am obese, but I dress well. I wear makeup that flatters me, keep my hair and skin looking nice, and I'm smiley, bubbly. Masculine women are attracted to my hyper-feminine aesthetic, and many of them have stared, flirted, or even hit on me. Men of various ages go out of their way every couple of months to tell my husband that he got a good one, and that they hope he treats me well. My husband made me his queen, and I am spoiled BTWLOL. Again, I'm a big bitch, but I carry myself well, and am perceived as approachable, so my size has less influence. I actually get hit on more now that I'm married than when I was single. I don't dress provocatively, and I get more compliments now than when I was young and thin. I've just simply figured out how to accentuate my best features in my appearance and personality. Story 9. People telling it to me, especially when alcohol is involved. I hear things like, wow, you really are beautiful, never seen such a beauty, etc. Also, everybody is nice. They hold the door, pick up things that I dropped. Whenever I'm outside, I can easily find multiple people staring at me. Sometimes when I don't make any sense in my sentences, nobody cares, so I don't even make the effort to correct myself. Story 10. How frequently glances turn into stares. How I am treated compared to others. I work in healthcare and often have people argue with my coworkers, and when I intervene, their face changes from a scowl to a smirk. They listen to what I say and use a term of endearment. Dear, sweetie, sweetheart, darling. Comments. One time my technician asked a patient, "Do you have any questions for the pharmacist?" And he replied, "Yeah, what's she doing later? Damn." My ex's father bought a gorgeous Mercedes sports car. My ex told me, "People look at you like they look at my dad's car." I once walked into a party and some guy yelled, "Dibs." I took my car to a shop, and the mechanic told me, "No way you're single. If you are, then you won't be after today." I've had men put air in my tires, offer to pump my gas, been given things at checkout for free, given extras for free, always get out of traffic stops with warnings. Story 11. I'm married, so at least my husband finds me good looking. But in all seriousness, I know that at a size 22, very few people see me as anything but fat and can't even enjoy my pretty features because all they can see is that I'm overweight. But if I lost a decent amount of weight and wasn't a size 22 anymore, with my curly auburn hair, green eyes, and good smile after 3 years of braces, I'd be pretty cute. Story 12. I think people who are attractive are told it by people, or friends over time, so they begin to know it, and they get flirted around with a lot, sometimes by both ease, and modeling headhunters give you their card randomly when you're walking down the street. If you're one of those, use this time wisely while you have it to build your future. Doors open a tiny bit easier for those who are said to be conventionally attractive. Story 13. I'm too old to be worried about whether I'm attractive or not. But in my day, I was always told I was pretty or cute attractive. I wasn't a beauty, though. Very much a girl next door or tomboy next door. Rode horses, fished, worked part-time on a farm. I never had issues getting dates. Did not date the guys in my high school, though. Couldn't stand them. After I graduated, it was on like Donkey Kong, as my husband always says. LOL. Solid 6.5 out of 10. And in my thinner years, maybe a 7 fatter years of 5. Story 14. I walked into a restaurant in a foreign country and the waitress said to her friend, "Holy crap, he's handsome," in a perfectly audible voice, but in a language she assumed I couldn't understand. I say "excuse me" to a girl and get her attention, and her eyes go to my eyes, then for a split second to my chest, then back to my eyes. That's all I've got over the course of a lifetime so far, lol. Story 15. I honestly think I'm decent, pleasing to the eyes, like I'm happy with how I look, but I'm not obsessed with it. I prefer to be more healthier. It's through compliments from people and husband sappiness, going on a decade together. I feel it's from me being genuinely content with myself and my life. Story 16. Other hot people are smiley AF when they notice you staring at them, instead of creeped out / annoyed / impartial to it. Similar if you check out a hot person when they aren't looking, and then when you check back later, they are now the ones staring at you. I call it Y-Tag. It's an exclusive underground game hot people play, but don't talk about like Fight Club. When unattractive people stare, it's creepy and feels weird. When it's another Y person, we stroke each other's egos and have a sly grin. Over the summer, I was in a streetcar and saw a model-looking woman on the sidewalk outside, dressed up fancy for a gala or something, and I naturally did a double take. She was clearly getting tons of attention, but when she saw my double take, she had a massive smile and her face lit up like a Christmas tree. I was practicing my eye contact lately, and some, not super attractive, but cute girl walked by. And when she saw me holding eye contact with her, she had this smile that I can only describe it as looking like the act of me inviting her into the game of Y-Tag was something that would permanently boost her confidence for the rest of her life. Story 17. Extremely attractive women approach me first on a regular basis and I get stared at, double, triple takes, eye-ed, people preening when they see me, etc. Also, you can tell if super attractive women, who every guy stares at, smiles and looks like you stroked her ego when she catches you looking at her. Story 18. Honestly, I can't tell if I'm actually attractive to other women than my wife. I'm definitely not ugly, I'm tall, I have wide shoulders, still have all my hair on the head, and I'm always well groomed. But it never happened in my life that a woman approached me or sent other signals that she thinks I'm attractive. Still waiting for that day. Story 19. I've dated 9S. I have absolutely no clue what they are seeing, but I've definitely dated solid 9S for years at a time. That's the best evidence I've got. I wouldn't say I'm movie model hot, but enough to date 9S. I'm not saying this in any kind of arrogant, egotistical way, rather scientifically. I'm a scientist. Life is definitely easier than what it should be, and I think a decent percentage can be attributed to looks. Story 20. I think the best approach to being attractive is being healthy and having good hygiene. Staying fit and keeping myself clean shows other people that I take good care of myself because I value my own body. A handsome face can fade over time, but being in great shape can last for a lifetime if I make an effort to maintain it. Story 21. I was told that confidence and dignity have a lot of weight in being an attractive person. The only thing we really have control over is our choices and our dignity. I started carrying myself with confidence even if I felt like I didn't have it, and now I believe I'm attractive. I'm not delusional with it. I know I'm average, but I don't have as much insecurity. Also partly because my man insists I'm the most attractive woman out there, whether I'm in sweatpants and a robe cleaning kid puke off stairs or in a velvet dress ready for a dance. Story 22. I will say my empathy. I'm a bi dude, and although I say I'm not everyone's cup of tea, think of a bear build, dad bod and hairy, most people that have been attracted to me have told me it's because I treat them with genuine care and respect. That's what everyone wants, no? Story 23. Honestly, the only thing at me that I don't like makes me look bad is that I got a little chubby in the past 2 years. I'm a size 14 women's, Australia size, and maybe my teeth, I have buck teeth, but they bother me too much as I can't change that and they can open some serious. Other than that, I honestly look in the mirror and think, wow, I'm hot. I feel bad for PPL that aren't me. I only say these things secretly to myself, and I'm not trying to seem like those PPL that are in love with themselves and are assholes ab their looks. Most would likely say I'm a 4 or 5, but I look in the mirror and see a 9. Is that bad? Should I not like the way I look as much as I do? I would see myself as a 10 if I lost weight. I've been going to the gym the past 4 months, so who knows? Maybe one day I will. I must be crazy to love the way I look and consider myself blessed with the generics I got. Story 24. All the free things I get went out. Free shots, free bottle of wine, half the meal off, hotel upgrades, plane seat upgrades, though this happened only once and could be just plain luck, etc. Always being able to get help from people and being about to turn conflict or something bad into nothing because people are eager to help. Basically, I acknowledge my pretty privilege. Story 25. I think I am, or at least was, more attractive than I thought. My memories are quite, well, that was a sign of interest louder than a foghorn. And now I'm over 30, I'm realizing that I'm arguably on the wrong side of life to be considered attractive anymore. Those signs are more obvious now than they were at the time because now I don't really get noticed. That doesn't stop me, though. When I'm ovulating, I feel like I'm giving off all kinds of I'm hot and I know it vibes, and everyone is looking at me because of that. 1 week out of every month, I am deluded AF. Edit, ooh, ooh, ooh. And I was once told that I have nice arches in my fight. So if in doubt, I'll defer to my feet. There's good money there too. Story 26. Didn't think much about it until I started to realize the frequent looks from women, some being very obvious. A doctor said I looked like Brad Pitt. I don't try to exploit it as that's a sign of shallow character and egoism. If you're going to show off, you better have something more than looks, right? I dress down always. I'm German, Dutch, English, and Scandinavian. Then there's the charisma effect. Upon meeting me, people want to be around me. They call it the halo effect. If this guy is so good looking, he must have other talents too, if they only knew the truth. Story 27. I don't need to do much of anything at all, really, in order to find someone to go on a date with or to build a roster. Also, my Tinder matches filled up within hours of me making my account, and I've never seen any of the bots people complain about on that app. Currently at 3,000 plus people who swiped right on me, and about 50 matches, 14 active chats, and the rest are people who haven't started a conversation yet. Story 28. First time I really realized I am was when I hooked up with a classmate, and she was still able to describe what I was wearing the first time we met. A year before that because she was so impressed with my looks. Also, when you hear about guys never getting compliments, I get them all the time. How I dress, how I look, my smile, and mostly my eyes. So when I learned lots of guys never get compliments, that really drove the realization home. Story 29. Many people tell me so and point out exactly what makes me attractive. Of course, that doesn't stop me from disagreeing. Having severe body dysmorphia and feeling a constant looming threat of becoming older and losing this benefit. All I see is the scars from teenage zits, my psoriasis red spots, that bit of fat which refuses to be trained away no matter how healthy I eat and how much I sports. I'm also never going to be fit enough, and the slow advance of bags under my eyes that are starting to look more and more like those my mom has with each passing year can seem to be kept at bay with moisturizing. Story 30. I used to be a guy that avoided mirrors, afraid that I was ugly due to childhood bullying, and it always gives me pause when someone takes a picture, or I catch myself in the mirror and I think to myself, oh wow, I'm not bad looking at all. There's always that voice in my head that says otherwise, but I'm thankful to be able to experience that. For me, I see myself and don't feel repulsed. I have a nice smile and it's just a feeling. I'm not Brad Pitt, but I don't deserve to beat myself up. Story 31. My girlfriend genuinely thinks so. I mean, I can tell she's not just saying it, and she genuinely finds me attractive. It's honestly the best feeling in the world. And when I can see this, it doesn't matter so much what I think or believe or any others, just the way she is around me and looks at me and talks to me. I'm truly lucky to be made to feel this valued, loved, and attractive. Story 32. My girlfriend genuinely thinks so. I mean, I can tell she's not just saying it, and she genuinely finds me attractive. It's honestly the best feeling in the world. And when I can see this, it doesn't matter so much what I think or believe or any others. Just the way she is around me and looks at me and talks to me. I'm truly lucky to be made to feel this valued, loved, and attractive. Story 33. My girlfriend genuinely thinks so. I mean, I can tell she's not just saying it, and she genuinely finds me attractive. It's honestly the best feeling in the world. And when I can see this, it doesn't matter so much what I think or believe or any others, just the way she is around me and looks at me and talks to me. I'm truly lucky to be made to feel this valued, loved, and attractive. Story 34. People are nice to me for no reason. I get stared at when walking around. Strangers compliment me. Friends tell me I look like a Barbie doll. I can say the dumbest things and people act like it's funny or interesting. I was a late bloomer as a kid, so thankfully developed a personality before I got pretty. But pretty privilege is real. I'm grateful to have this asset, and I'm going to miss it when I get older. Story 35. I know from the start I'm not attractive at all, at least in modern trends. I'm chubby with no tits, No butt. I have a big circular head that doesn't fit me well. My upper arms are bigger than other limbs in my body. All these physical things combined with being autistic with severe anxiety and can't make eye contact. I look very nerdy with my glasses, constantly bullied in school, and of course couldn't find a date for so long. But I felt like I won a lottery when I got my husband. He's the type that a lot of girls go crazy for. He's funny, optimistic, charming. His voice is very why. He's the gentleman type of guy. I didn't even think about being with him in first place because he's just out of my league. He claimed he fell in love with me because of my personality. How I'm not materialistic, I'm straightforward and don't make up unnecessary dramas for attention and hide behind silent treatments. Though he actually thinks nerdy girls are adorable. I suppose everyone's definition of attractive is different. But it does make me feel different from other girls. Like it probably saves more brain cells that I don't take hours shopping. I prefer cooking at home than fancy dinners. My favorite food is cheap, so it's not difficult to make me happy. I won't judge you if you talk to other people, because I trust you. When you're having fun with friends, I'll make sure the snacks are ready. I don't mind trying new stuff and will gladly download games if you need someone to play with. I wouldn't ask for jewelries or money or anything fancy. Even if we want something, we communicate our intentions. We're a team and we provide and support for each other. I know this could be bare minimum, but I've seen a lot of couples don't do it. Story 36. In the space of less than a year, I turned from a beautiful woman into a hideous troll. I was 120 with abs and long black hair and ended up 165 and no abs and no hair. Quit nicotine and cut my hair super short. Pretty privilege is real. I went from somebody people would randomly chat on the street beach with to someone people avoided in the grocery store. Eye contact to no eye contact. People willing to help to people avoiding. Dated whoever I want and had interesting friendships, and then almost overnight couldn't get a man's attention unless it was for. People used to hold the door open for me. I feel like I became invisible. Story 37. Honestly, my husband. This man goes out of his way every single day to make sure I know how attractive I am in his eyes. Has even embarrassed me a few times in public by boasting how why I am to him. Mind you, I know I'm as average as they come, and I stand by the whole beauty is in the eye of the beholder bit. But without him, I don't think I'd have as much confidence as I do now. Story 38. I think it's more about the type of attractive. I'm an alt girl, so for some people, they're very into that. Others cannot imagine being attracted to someone who looks like me. I like my natural hair color. I like my makeup. And the way I express myself, I have grown and taught myself to like a good handful of things about myself. And the rest is honoring things I've been told by people who are attracted to me. Story 39. I don't think I'm super attractive, but I also don't think I'm super ugly. But when I was skinnier, some people will go to my place of work looking for something and then just stay and chat me up. Or I would have people leaving their contact info with the people at desk so they didn't disturb me. I remember one time a guy I just met bought me a balloon and flowers just because I said hours before I wanted some. He even had a GF and gave them to me in front of her. But also I have been told ugly to my face or just ghosted. So I can say attractiveness is in the eye of the beholder. Story 40. It depends, to be honest. I'm married, so that's one of the biggest indicators. However, I do get random compliments on the things that I believe are imperfect, and that makes me think other people than my husband find me attractive on some level. For example, I always get compliments on my nails, though I do not polish them and my nails are uneven. Story 41. I've always how I looked and never felt good enough. Every time I looked at my body, I felt wrong and it made me depressed. Now, after realizing that I'm trans, it all makes sense and I've grown a much bigger confidence. Once I started dressing as the guy I am, I finally saw myself in the mirror. And I think I'm a pretty good-looking guy. I wholeheartedly believe once I can start testosterone, I'll finally feel at home with myself and most of my insecurities will go away. I just needed to find myself to think I'm attractive. Story 42. I have to believe that I'm somewhat attractive, BC. My husband is also very attractive. I would even go as far to say that he is the more attractive one. I've seen him get hit on and receive compliments, and he is insanely attracted to me. I used to think for years that he could have done better, but him and I have had those talks, and he just wishes I could see what he sees. BC, apparently I'm delusional. So delusion? Story 43. Not anymore because I have severely let myself go and am fat now. But when I was younger and skinnier, every time I would go out, I would get random men and women coming over to tell me how good I looked. From the ages of 18, 21, I never once paid for my own drinks. Sometimes when I would ask for the bill at the end for food or WVR, I would be told it had already been paid by someone. Now I'm fat and depressed, and the only reason people look at me is probably to remind themselves to go to the gym. Story 44. My appearance fitting how I see myself. As you can tell by my username, I'm trans and autistic. I see things very literally and factually, so I know I'm attractive to some standards, but I don't feel it. When I dress conforming to my gender, which is very fluid and can actually encompass female feminine genders on rare occasion, though is mostly male in a feminine way, femboy. I feel amazing. I love makeup as well and have been really practicing my skills, and a good makeup look makes me feel even more pretty. Also, before you say anything, my femininity and my male identity are connected. When I started transitioning, I was very hypermasculine, wouldn't touch my old clothes with a 10-foot pole, but as I grew comfortable in my skin, I realized that wasn't me. I mostly dress gender non-conforming. Even when I'm feeling masculine, I kind of go for a butch lesbian vibe, masculine in a girl way. Mostly I go for either genderless entity, hoodie and loose clothing because comfy, or emo femboy, feminine clothes and a lot of black. I'm sorry for the paragraph. Story 45. In my general interactions I have with strangers, 75% of the time they compliment my looks or tell me I'm pretty. I also often catch people staring and then smiling when I look, or soften when they talk to me. I'm also not sure if this is just how people treat other people, but some friends of mine don't receive this treatment. I don't think I'm super attractive, but I live with confidence. LOL. Story 46. The history of women I've dated. Due to my mother verbally saying I'm ugly on a daily basis, I'm unable to look at myself in the mirror without hating what I see. My female friends have also said I'm average looking. However, I have dated and had one-night stands with some of the most gorgeous women in high school, university, and elsewhere. Here's the interesting bit. Every single woman I've been with has said that I'm not attractive at first sight, but the moment they see me nerd out on Star Wars or talk about cats and my monthly donations to animal shelters, they all said I become visually attractive in their eyes. Story 47. I was in training at a new job. I had moved halfway across the country and didn't know anyone. The small class of about 11 or so newbies are getting a tour and we'd stopped for a break. I must have zoned for a minute or two and snapped out of it. I looked around to kind of reorient myself and caught the other new hires looking at me. She held her gaze for a sec, then literally looked me up and down and gave a coy smirk before turning her head away. It was so on the nose that I was more flabbergasted that someone had actually done something I was sure only happened in movies than anything else. It never went anywhere. We worked different shifts, and she was way too high octane for a homebody tabby cat like me. But whenever I feel like a slob of a man, I always remember her sizing me up and apparently liking what she saw. Anyway, she ended up passing away about a year or so later. Very sad. She was the epitome of team player. Stood up for the meek, took the piss out of the boisterous, driven heart of gold behind a caddy shell. Don't think ID ever heard an ill word toward her. Story 48, I don't really think about it. I do think Reddit is way too obsessed with looks, though. There's something else I usually say, but people here take issue with it. I'll say it anyways. You're all a bunch of women. Start caring more about doing things that make the world better and less about how you look. There. Now you have received good advice, but you can still downvote me and say you're a ist asshole at the same time. You're welcome. Story 49. Strangers used to come up to me and my ex and be like, OMG, you're so pretty. Talking to my GF, and this happened multiple times. Also have been told it by many people. I get along with almost everyone, and the sad reality is people will treat others they see as good-looking noticeably better. So that is an indication I am at least above average looking. Story 50. I guess dating. I married my high school sweetheart, but after he died, I started to date a lot, and the types of people, all kinds of people of varying attractiveness found me attractive. So in turn, I felt attractive. I've also never really had a problem getting into a relationship. A lot of my friends do, and I see that it happens, and it's real, but it's never really happened to me. I guess that makes me able and attractive enough to introduce to someone's parents. That's pretty neat. Still, I have a hard time believing it, relating to it. It doesn't come to mind often. Then again, if I have to worry about being attractive, and it hasn't really been a worry, then maybe that's an indication that I already am, and I've never had to work for it or change anything about myself. I don't really care, though. I truly think everyone's attractive to at least someone, multiple someones. Story 51. I've been told by women that I'm attractive. During a makeout session once, I had a woman hold my face, look into my eyes and say, "Oh my God, you're so cute." I've also been catcalled by a car full of drunk women while walking down the street. The problem is I was severely bullied when I was younger and have had lifelong insecurity because of it. So I can't even enjoy it because I just think, no, I'm not. Story 52. There is a confidence that comes with wearing AY, matching bra and panty set. Other than that, I think it all boils down to confidence in how you carry yourself. I have great posture and have always walked with my head up, shoulders back down, and chest out. I feel like that in and of itself exudes a certain Y aura. Story 53. I get free stuff everywhere and discounts on services without any apparent reasons. Strangers go out of their way to help me. People approach me and start small talking, and many men have a habit I do not like to just randomly touch me. Babies and grandmas also absolutely love me, and then people tell me they find me beautiful, and women can act quite cool towards me at first. As a former obese woman, I can tell body dysmorphia is real because I still can feel fat and ugly, even though I encounter the things listed above on a regular basis and wear a size 2/4. I always doubt my appearance and size. The struggle is real. Story 54. People have told me my whole life I am, and men just kind of have always bent over backwards for me without me really even asking for anything from them. They just seem to get smitten and invested really quickly. It's not even a thought on my mind that I'm not. When I see photos of myself, I'm like, bad photo. But it's probably just my face now that I'm getting older and don't look like how I think I do. And that happens a lot, haha. But I feel attractive regardless. Story 55, I'm speaking pretty anecdotally. 26M. Women have come up to me randomly asking for my number, to compliment me, to ask to kiss me, or just to tell I'm beautiful. Men have offered me pretty quickly as well. Women will initiate conversations with me, offer to take me on dates occasionally, buy me drinks, etc. Photographers have walked up to me in the middle of the street asking me if I'm signed or just to take photos of me. This has happened a couple of times. A few people have offered to let me sleep with their significant others. When I had a significantly larger friend group, a good amount of the women have offered to have with me, sent me naked photos, or later told me they wanted to date me at some point. There was a group chat of naked women who were all extremely attractive, who named the GC after me and put me in it and just send nude snaps all day. People assume my body count as a male is extremely high, 30, 40 plus. This probably isn't the most common male experience, but it's led me to the belief that at the very least, I'm not hideous. I'm probably a solid 6, although some women friends have said 8.5/9, but these are also friends. If I went on a Rate Me subreddit, I think I'd be placed at around the 6 mark. In reality, I think I just have a lot of charisma, which is something I'm fairly confident about. Story 56. I am a 8.5 on a good day and perhaps a 6.5/7 on a normal day. I am a petite blonde woman with blue eyes, and when I smile, I have even white teeth and a pretty smile. I see myself objectively as very pretty, but I am not drop-dead gorgeous. However, I make many men uncomfortable, and I don't do it on purpose. Not all of them OFC, but enough of them that I have come to understand that it is the coldness that I exude that mars my pretty petite blonde exterior. I'm confident, very direct in conversations, and I also lack the facial mimicry most people have. It's not that I cannot operate like a normal woman, I just choose not to. And that makes men both very attracted and also very uncomfortable. They can sense something is not as it should be. Some even expect me to be a bubbly, giggling airhead because of my looks, and they are very much correct. And yet they are still drawn to me, like the proverbial moth to a flame. I also notice that women either want to befriend me or are overly hostile towards me, especially if their partner boyfriend is there. I am no threat to them and would never harm another woman like that. But alas, they do not believe me. Story 57. If I'm on a night out, men say, wow, OMG, or something along the lines out loud. I get approached consistently by them. Women stop me as I'm walking past to say how pretty they think I am. I'm not everyone's cup of tea because I'm tattooed, but people must like it. Also limit this to when I'm dressed up because I give Adam Sandler vibes on all the other days. Story 58. I've honestly never been the girl guys were into. Like, I considered myself to be average, and I sometimes still think that lol, but over the past years, as I am getting closer to my 30s and am taking better care of myself, I've been noticing more guys reaching out to me. Last month, I went to dinner with 2 of my girlfriends, and a guy came up and started talking to us, then said, the only reason I came up to you ladies was to ask her out, and pointed at me. Lamau, I was genuinely shocked because I also have a confidence, haha. Story 59. Kindness, empathy, and overall giving about people. Maybe my voice as well. I work tech support at a solid company, WFH calls and chats, with 95% plus spectacular customers. The other 5% I assume are as well, but having a bad day and go out of my way to be especially gentle with them. A few times on an average week, customers will sometimes start stressed and pressing and are calm at the end. They thank me for helping them, even when it's something another company needs to do, and also for being pleasant, being patient enough to take the time to help explain things so I finally understand, being persistent and optimistic, giving peace of mind, etc. People have said that my voice and method of dealing with things is calming and that they feel they are in good hands. I've had 4 people over the years encourage me to do voice acting. I'd love to look into it, but am so shy. I'm not at all trying to say this as an ego thing. I just genuinely enjoy connecting with people and helping make their lives a little easier. When people take a step back to say, hey, you just made my day, made my life so much easier or the like, it's like a bonus for my heart. IDK, how else to put it? Makes me feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. It's a breath of fresh air to be somewhere where this is valued. 3 years coming up soon. Technology can be rough and I had my own struggles. I'm just truly glad that I can be there for someone who needs help with some things that can be so frustrating. I also am the same way with my husband and 1-year-old son. I finally found a nook in life where I can be myself and bring joy to those around me. I'm cherishing it as long as I can. Story 60. The fact I somehow pulled the baddest babe in my school. It doesn't end there, as I was with her for a year before getting engaged, making her my fiancé and me the happiest I had ever been in my entire life. We then spent the next 4 years together, which were the best 4 years of my entire life. I was about to turn 24, which meant I had spent more than 1/5 of my entire life with the most beautiful, most caring bad biddy on this planet. But 2 weeks before my 24th birthday, she passed away. She had an infection from heart surgery and died in her parents' bathroom. I'm 26 now, and I miss the way she made me feel about myself inside and out. She was perfect. Annalisa, I love you. Story 61. I feel like attractiveness is somewhat subjective, so if someone else is telling me I'm attractive, then that's positive feedback. Multiple people have told me that, including guys who were interested in me, so I know I'm attractive to at least some people. However, people don't say you're unattractive to your face, so that's harder to know. I'm ambiguous about my attractiveness. Comparing my face to really attractive people, I don't measure up. And I don't get pretty privilege that I've noticed. People don't stare at me in awe. But I know I'm attractive enough to have some people think so that's good. I wouldn't have trouble finding some guys who thought I was attractive, if that means anything. But that doesn't mean everyone thinks I'm attractive, so maybe I'm averagely attractive. Story 62. Body dysmorphia. I see myself in the mirror and think I'm beautiful. I interact with folks thinking they see what I feel. Then I see pictures and know I look like a troll. I've watched CC video of me in my classroom and I'm like, what the hell, do I really look like that? Luckily, the folks in my life seem to mirror the image I see of myself in my head. I'm a troll in every image, but I'm guessing that my joy, my absolute interest in other people and their stories somehow makes other people think I'm beautiful, even though I'm objectively overweight and more so in pictures. Story 63. Nothing, really. I'd like to believe I have a kind, gentle soul and good character. That's what others have said about me, but I'm not sure I believe it. I just do my best to listen to people, to try and understand where they are coming from, and to brighten up their day by making their lives just a little bit easier if I can. Usually all I can do is provide decent conversation. I love reading and writing and music, and some years ago aspired to be an intellectual. I still value the same things I did back then, if that says anything about me. I just know I'll never reach that pinnacle. No one labels themselves an intellectual anyway. If you are asking why I consider myself physically attractive, I do not. Talking about myself like this is embarrassing and vain, so I'll shut up now. Story 64. I love looking at myself. I've reached a point where I don't seek validation from men or other people anymore. I'm focused on my goals. I take care of my looks. I enjoy my intelligence and company. I feel more secure in my religion. It helps that people call me pretty, but I only appreciate the compliment and don't rely on it for validation. Honestly, just being happy with myself and my direction in life has made me believe that I am attractive and allowed me to form my standards for friends and partners. Story 65. I've had looksmaxer types tell me that I have objectively perfect facial features and that they D me for it. It kind of broke any body dysmorphia I ever used to have about my face. I had one friend of this type tell me that my face was golden ratioed. I had no idea what that even meant and had to Google it. But yeah, they were kind of right. Even though I think the look-smaxing stuff is stupid, and I do feel deeply sorry for anyone who thinks that stuff matters, knowing this has boosted my confidence since LOL. I still wouldn't say I'm that conventionally attractive, but knowing that my natural facial structure has looksmaxers absolutely seething makes me feel a little better whenever I'm having a day where I feel gross. Story 66. Success. I work hard to the occlusion of all else because I'm a workaholic, career-focused woman. I'm kind, nice to my friends despite being introverted. I just turned 30. I don't smoke or drink, and I have the ability to dress up nice. I don't have plastic surgery or fillers, not because I disapprove, but because I'm from a small country town where that wasn't an option for someone from my financial background. I might get them in future, but I don't think I'm ugly. So no rush. I went through a lot of crap in early life and kept focused on what would get me into a better situation. So I think I'm attractive because I have the characteristics I deem attractive internally. I earn enough to look after myself. I don't let toxic people, even family, get into my life. I have an average-looking face, but I'm kind, and I'm okay being by myself without getting bored. I just put on a sparkly outfit if I think I lack sparkle naturally for an event. I would be attracted to someone with my qualities. The important thing is self-love. Be who you would want to be respect. And that's more attractive to me than perfect face and body. Could I read with that girl, laugh with that girl, share secrets with that girl, travel with that girl, try new foods with that girl? I've always wanted that girl in my life, so I've always tried to be that girl for others. And I feel like I am. So I feel like I'm attractive. This might come off as narcissistic, but the nature of the post would attract narcissists like me. Story 67, IDK, how to explain it, but when I lost weight, it started to feel like people just started assuming I had good intentions or like seeking out good qualities to find in me, if that makes sense. Like most of my life, I felt like I had to fight against the person people decided I was when they first saw me. From what I could tell, the most predominant initial judgments were annoying or weird. To be fair, I'm neurodivergent, and I know this is something a lot of us experience, but now I feel like when I first meet people, they aren't offended by my personality the same way because they like the vessel it's coming out of more. What a world we live in. I can't wait to grow old and get locked out of the world of beauty and diet culture. Once you reach a certain age, there's no point in trying to be the societal standard of beauty because you outgrow it. And it's in such a clear way that nobody expects you to be constantly trying to achieve it anymore. What a gift. Story 68. Random people walking up to me and telling me so in well-lit environments. Like I am trans and I'm not even trying to pass, and I'm just doing hormones for now. But it is a thing now. I'm still fairly certain I don't pass, but evidently, I'm sort of trans Fran Fine meets Joan Holloway with really long hair. It's all very new to me, and I still am not sure how to navigate it. It used to freak me out because I thought people trying to clock me and were freaking out and getting secretly mad at me. Now it's getting clocked and either admired or getting clocked and then ogled anyway. So yay, euphoria, and euphoria means I am doing well. Story 69. People are super generous towards me and seem to want to help me even if I can't reciprocate. I get a lot of compliments on my makeup and how I dress, and people often call me words like cute, ethereal, and a fairy. I get invited to social events by acquaintances, like friends seem to go out of their way to invite me to things. And I do get asked out by the majority of people I get to know, LOL. Honestly, that's the biggest compliment, because if they had to work up the nerve, it must mean they think really highly of me. Or maybe they decided the more they got to know me, the more they liked me. Either way, that's such a high compliment. Story 70. My one coworker is really pretty, dark hair, blue eyes, small-built ECT. And my other coworker has a daughter that's also pretty. And both of them would regularly tell me how random guys would stop and compliment them. My coworker would walk with her BF, and a few times random guys would stop them to tell him how lucky he is and how he has a pretty GF. This happened to other coworkers' daughter as well. One day, a random guy, the girl's age, waited outside a store to tell my coworker her daughter's pretty. Story 71. People across all age groups and genders tell me how youthful and pretty I look. I always get complimented on my smile, my eyes, and just how pleasant I am in general. So I'm assuming the compliments are not limited to men just trying to hit on me. Little kids tell me I look like a fairy princess. More so, when I had waist-length mermaid-colored hair. I get told pretty regularly that my figure is nice. So despite my deep-seated insecurities and not seeing myself as attractive when I look in the mirror most of the time, I can still surmise that I'm pretty objectively attractive. Story 72. People don't know me and yet want to spend time with me. For instance, I started a new job and people went out of their way to meet me and befriend me. I wasn't always conventionally attractive, and it's something I saw happening more and more, and I was leaning towards more traditional beauty standards. Story 73. I'm not sure I believe it, but I've been told my glow-up, this term BTW, was in my early 30s. I'm 40 now, BTW. I noticed that men would hold doors for me. They'd approach me in restaurants and bars and try to start conversations. I do a lot of things alone. I prefer it to going places with a group. If I was at a movie, people talk to me about it afterward like they know me. I'm a nerd and see as many movies as possible, usually alone. If I'm with my best friend who's a guy, they leave me alone. I look at pictures of myself before this time, and I can see what people mean. I had zero confidence. It's visible in my face. I was okay looking, sure, but absolutely was not conventionally attractive. I believe my looks changed when I got a divorce and realized I'm better than he said I was. I wasn't all the horrible things I thought I was. I lost a little weight, not much. I'm 5'8", and weigh about 145. Early 30s, I was 130. I finally dyed my hair the colors I love. I got more piercings and tattoos. I finally feel like me. I'm finally so much more comfortable in my own body. I think people see the comfort and confidence I have, even with severe anxiety and depression, and equate it with attractive. And I keep eye contact during conversations, unless I'm speaking to someone that makes me anxious. I actually asked my friends online, what is the first thing you notice about me that makes you want to talk to me? 80% said eyes. The other 20% was a mix of hair, height, and piercings. Life is weird. I'm weird. People are weird. Story 74. I think that some attractive people are aware of it because at some point in their lives they weren't considered attractive. People have glow-ups. And before these glow-ups, the differences between the way people treat you is contrastingly different. A lot of people say that when they were deemed unattractive by society's standards, they were ignored or mistreated within moments of encounter, while when being attractive, they made much more connections and had more privileges and opportunities. A small example for myself, if that men would hold the door for women they found attractive, but would let it slam on me. Now men hold the door for me everywhere I go. People treat you especially different if they feel they can gain something from you.